Jules, we're not done because we have more quick hits.
Yes.
France bounced back nicely with a
Come
2-0
on.
win over Belgium as Ousmane Dembele scores a worldie.
Yeah.
Jules, Deschamps was always going to rotate. We saw Konate, Griezmann, and Mbappe start on the bench.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Were you
Yeah,
convinced?
eight changes in total from the starting 11, which is a lot. Only Maignan, Saliba, and Kante stayed.
Which is really unfair to Conte at his age and with a long flight back to Saudi.
And to be fair, he was captain, and he was better than he was in the first game against Italy, where everybody played badly. We said defensively, this was much better. Upamecano, Saliba, centre back. Against Openda, we saw very good Jules Koundé, who I think was missed against Italy, playing really well against Jeremy Doku again. And this time France offensively used the ball better
without Mbappe.
Without Mbappe, I was going to say exactly. I don't know if there's a deeper problem here. It's 2 goals in 12 now for Kylian. He came on in the second half. This looked disinterested at training, privately, on the pitch, what we saw, what we can hear, what people are telling us. Not a good international break for him. I don't know if it's just that he didn't fancy it. He was more focused on Real Madrid. I don't know the problem. What is the problem? But there's definitely a problem.
Maybe he's nervous that he won't get his 55 million euros.
Maybe there's a bit of that. Maybe. I don't know. And also, Kevin De Bruyne really not happy at the end after the Belgian performance and seeming to say like this. He could be thinking about maybe retiring from international
Suggesting
football.
he might retire, yeah.
Manchester United released their accounts for the past year, and they showed record revenue of £661.8 million, which is a lot of revenue, but also losses of £113 million, which is a lot of losses too, Gab. Do they have PSR concern and could they be in trouble?
So here's a reminder. They lost 113 million. They lost 28.7 million last year, and they lost 115.5 million the year before. Now, you may remember that's about 250 million in losses over 3 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The maximum losses allowed, obviously, as you know, is 105 million, but there's a lot of stuff that you can discount from it. So that number's not really relevant from a PSR perspective. I do think they have to be more disciplined. 47.8 million of the losses were part of the structural review of the club. That includes a payoff to Richard Arnold, who of course was CEO for a year, if that, for 5.5 million.
Nice.
He did well. To be fair, he was there for a bunch of years before that.
Before he was very successful there.
United say they're going to save they're going to save up to 90 million pounds
for all the people that they
over
got
2
rid
years.
of.
The efficiencies, I'm always a little skeptical when people say up to, like, what if you say up to 90 million? You'd say up to 200 million would be the same thing. I do think, they're going to have to be a little bit disciplined going forward. Obviously, they made a big investment in the squad. I don't think they necessarily want to change as many players next year. Hopefully, you're hoping they got it right and players grow.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo goes on Rio Ferdinand's podcast and says he still loves Manchester United. But he also had some mean things to say about Eric Ten Hag. There's a shock.
Yeah, I mean, you knew this was going to come up because obviously he doesn't like him. They didn't work well
I think
together.
he likes it more than he likes Ralph Rangnick.
Maybe. And something that we also mentioned, that we also picked up on in a way, is the communication of Ten Hag. Some of the things that he says in press conferences, in interviews, and what Cristiano said was like, Eric Ten Hag and a Manchester United manager, whoever that is, cannot say that we don't compete for the league. He should always be saying that we're going to try to be there, compete with the best. It's an easy slide tackle. It's an easy dig at Ten Hag. Does Cristiano need it? I don't know, but he clearly has still a lot of things to say. Even 2 years after leaving the club?
Yeah, look, and 2 years after leaving the club, but obviously spent time there as a youngster as well, and then came back. Like Ten Hag's messaging, I don't think is great. I think it's a little bit all over the place.
Completely.
But ultimately, that's not what he's going to be judged on. Ultimately, it's the result he gets or doesn't get, and what he can build.
Colombia defeat Argentina 2-1 on Tuesday. And God, is something wrong with the world champions, or were Colombia really good?
Okay, Lionel Messi wasn't there.
No, again.
Julian Alvarez was there and was not good. And that goal he scored, it felt like a weird one-off.
Yeah.
I think mostly Colombia are really, really good. This is a high-energy team.
Yeah.
It's an intelligent team. And you have that quality in James set pieces.
Again,
he
like
puts the ball
America.
wherever he wants. I mean, the opener.
Yeah, Mosquera.
Boom, he just puts it there. Mosquera, by the way, is a player and a half as well.
Wolves Mosquera.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
So I don't think it's a tragedy. Argentina don't lose very often after their long streak. Of course, they had that defeat to Uruguay, so they've kind of moved past that. They'll be okay. We'll see where they are when Messi returns. At this point, you're thinking 26 for Argentina, right? So you know they're going to qualify. And then you see where Messi is in 26. You see if he wants to be a part of it. You see if he can be. I think in some ways Scaloni has to work on a plan B while seeing if Messi is still plan A. Jules, we talked about it on Monday.
Yeah.
And obviously Arsenal said, oh, wait, we forgot to extend Mikel Arteta's contract. Silly us.
They listened to you. They listened to you when you said, ¿Qué pasa? What's going on here?
And what do we do just today, Monday, as we record this? They extend his contract for another 2 years. It's a 3-year deal So I guess they listen.
They listen. We're Thursday today, but they listen to you on Monday. I know that's what you meant to do. You meant to say exactly. Mikel Arteta extending his contract for 2 more years, so a whole 3 years from now on, if you want. Which, as we said, it was never really in doubt. It was just about when they would announce it. So well done. He's done an amazing job really since he took over 5 years ago, but especially in the last 2.5 years where things have really changed the squad, it changed the mentality, it changed pretty much everything. So let's hope that trophies now and titles are also going to come, because with all that progression and all the changes that have been made positively at the club, you want all of this to be rewarded with trophies now.
And I think in this season, if Arsenal do hit a bumpy spell, I think it also gives him some more authority. I think it banishes the idea with Pep's contract expiring should Pep leave, that thing which can be destabilizing. It can be destabilizing to the players and so on.
Absolutely.
So, well done.
Christian Pulisic comes off the bench to score as the United States draw 1-1 with New Zealand. Gab, with Mauricio Pochettino finally confirmed as the new US head coach. What would he have thought watching that game?
I think he would. Man, we got work to do.
New Zealand.
It's not like they were bad. It's funny because I wanted to Google a match report for it. I watched the highlights and I wanted some content. And I start reading it, and they talk, and the whole match report is about how the U.S. so convincing, dominating New Zealand. And then I realize I'm reading the report on the U.S. Soccer Federation website. So yeah, of course, it's New Zealand.
I know.
These guys had to fly halfway around the world to come and play you. We saw Chris Wood come on. I mean, realistically, and I know there were players missing, and they made changes, and they created chances. That's what you want to see. But if you're Pochettino and you're assessing what, for large parts was maybe U.S. second string team, except for Matt Turner, who has to play all the time because he's not going to play club level. Yeah, you're looking and saying, all right, who can I build on? He's got a lot of work to do, Pochettino, and I think he realizes this. Like you mentioned, by the way, finally official. Thank you.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland grabs a late winner for Norway against Austria in their 2-1 win. Jules, good news for the big man after his horror show the other day.
Yeah.
Bad news for Martin Odegaard and Arsenal ahead of the North London derby, and I think they have a City game coming up as well.
Yeah, they're playing 3 away games in a row now. Tottenham away, Atalanta away in the Champions League, and then Manchester City away.
A lot of work for those away shirts.
Yeah. And I don't know how many of those games Martin Odegaard is going to miss. I think certainly Sunday. We will hear from Mikel Arteta tomorrow in his press conference on Friday. So we don't really have the latest on Odegaard's fitness and that ankle that turned in that game against Austria. Sprained it. I don't know how serious it is really. It could be serious. It could be hopefully not so serious for Arsenal. But no Rice and very likely no Odegaard for the game on Sunday.
All right, so let's project ahead. What's the midfield?
I think Havertz is going to drop deeper. You'll have Jorginho, Partey, Havertz.
Jorginho, who I don't think has played in a long time. Marino, obviously, not a factor.
Marino out as well, yeah. So you've got young Ethan Nwaneri, for example, who's very, very talented, but maybe still a little bit too young for a game of this caliber and from the start.
And up front?
I guess Raheem Sterling is in contention. I don't think they will start him straight away for a game like this. But yeah, you could have Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, for example, up front. Chelsea are in talks to move out of Stamford Bridge and build a new stadium a few blocks away in Earls Court, not far from where you live, Gab. So they could be your neighbours.
They could be my neighbours. I don't think this is going to happen for several reasons. And I think this is more kind of smoke and mirrors, and I wonder to what degree it's linked with issues with the ownership. First of all, the Chelsea pitch owners have to approve this. These are fans who many years ago, without getting into the details, they essentially bought the freehold.
Yeah.
So they may approve it because it's nearby, but it's a massive construction project. It's in an area where the land is very, very valuable. And I think there's a lot of other developers that they'd be competing with. Sure, you want to do your due diligence and talk to people? Fine. But I don't think this is going to happen.